is your name, please?
My name is William Hanna.
What is your name, please?
My name is William Hanna.
What is your name, please?
My name is William Hanna.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real William Hanna and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. And here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome again to our little game of deliberate misrepresentation, wherein four presumably smart people try to figure out which one of three challengers has sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you, as you know, by Geritol, America's #1 tonic, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. Right now, let's meet our cross-examiners. What is your name, please?
My name is Mary Healy.
My name is Jackie Cooper.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is Gardner.
Now, these three people all claim to be William Hanna. Of course, only one is the real William Hanna. The others have assumed that identity, and they do not have to stick to the truth. Now, panel, in front of you, you will find a copy of an affidavit. Will you please follow along as I read it? I, William Hanna, am Pipe Major of the Black Watch Royal Highland Regiment of Canada. I learned to play the bagpipes when I was 16 years old. I served in World War II under Field Marshal Montgomery and once shook hands with the Queen Mother, who is the Colonel-in-Chief of the regiment. Since my battalion is a reserve unit, I do have a civilian job. I'm a bill collector. I swear that the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, William Hanna. Now, we'll start to play our game in just a sec. All right, it's time now to play our game. These three people all claim to be William Hanna, the Pipe Major of the Black Watch Regiment of Canada. Remember, only the real William Hanna is required to answer your questions truthfully, and each of you, as always, would question until you hear this signal. At the end of the questioning period, you will be asked to register your vote for the one person who, in your opinion, is the real William Hanna. And we'll start this questioning round with Gardner. Hi?
Number one, in what city in Canada is the Black Watch Regiment based?
Montreal.
Montreal. Number two, what city?
Montreal.
Number three?
Montreal.
Well, that seems to be settled. Number two, what was the nickname of the fighting Highlanders in World War II?
That I'm not allowed to say.
Beg pardon?
I'm not allowed to say that. That's a secret.
I'm not allowed to state it.
He said he's not allowed to state it. It's a secret.
I see. Can you state it, number one?
No, sir, you wouldn't be allowed to see that on television.
I see, fine, thank you. Let me ask this question. What is the top newspaper in Montreal, number three?
Top newspaper?
Uh-huh.
Montreal Daily Star.
Number three again, Can I just get this one in?
Because
this is something I've been wondering about for years, and I know the audience has. What do you wear under your kilts?
I can't answer that. That's a military secret.
All right, Mary Healy.
You got that in. I wanted to know myself.
Mary?
Tell me, what does the sack that holds the air, you know, that plays the bagpipe, what is that made of? Number one.
That's either made of sheep's bag or a horse hide.
Number three, could you tell me what it's made of?
That's correct. Sheepskin or horse hide.
Number two, will you tell me?
Exactly the same.
Oh, well, all right. What would you say that Field Marshal Montgomery's greatest contribution was to the success of World War II? Number two.
The Battle of Alamein.
Number three.
I'll quite agree with that.
All right.
Jackie Cooper.
Name one other campaign. Number one, name one other campaign in which you served under Field Marshal Montgomery.
The Battle of Alamein.
Another campaign besides El Alamein. That's been named already.
Tobruk. Battle of Tobruk.
In what country did that take place?
Just outside Egypt.
And what was the date on which you shook hands with the Queen Mother?
In April 1941.
Number three, where are you living now?
Montreal.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number one, do you collect your bills in person?
Yes.
Number two, is there any nice way of collecting bills or
Yes.
kind way?
Yes, talk nice to the people.
Huh?
Yes, talk nice to the people.
Number 3, if you do allow a person not to pay his bill, what are the circumstances? Ever?
Well, we can always get together, make an arrangement for a later date.
Number 1, what do you carry in your sporran?
My money, if I have any.
Number 2, is that a busby you're wearing?
No, ma'am.
What do you call it?
That's what is usually known in Scotland as a bonnet.
Aye?
Well, I would like to ask another question of number 1, and that is that, is it true that you learn to play the bagpipes the same way you learn to milk cows?
Not exactly. You have to have a lot of wind, but in cows you have to have a lot of pull.
Well, that's it. We'll end it on that note of the bagpipes. It's time to vote now, panel, so without consultation, will you mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3. And I remind you that for every incorrect vote, the challengers receive $250. If they fool the entire panel, it may go as high as $1,000. All right, panel, you all marked? Okay, Mary Healy, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3. Because I think he has the prettiest legs to wear kilts.
You remembered from up there, did you? All right, Jackie?
I voted for number 2 because I believe his accent best of all.
Okay, Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 1 because he seemed like the windiest to be able to play the bagpipes.
How about you, Gardner? Your vote was for...
Well, I voted for number 1, too. As Jackie Cooper said, number 2 has quite an accent. Matter of fact, he sounds to me like an old, late movie on TV. But number 1 I went for because I think that he's the type of personality who would want to buy a suit with 2 pairs of kilts.
Okay, there we are with our votes and our reasons for voting. I hope you have as good reasons. We're going to find out right now which one of these people is Pipe Major William Hanna. So will the real William Hanna please stand up? Mary Healy's real happy on that choice. Number 1, would you tell us who you really are? And
My name is Robert G. Park. I am a superintendent in an apartment building in New York City.
And number 2, sir, how about you?
My name is Harry Connolly. I'm employed down here by the Canadian government and drive the Canadian Consul General.
What was that you asked him, Kitty? What does he put in his what?
In his sporran. That's that...
Yes, dear, that's all right, fine. Okay.
You're always getting into trouble with Scott's kilts.
We had 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $750 from Geritol, gentlemen. I hope you do your own Scotch division of that. Enjoy it in good health, good night, and good luck. Thanks for being here. And now may we have our next team of challengers, please. What is your name, please?
My name is Howell Forgy.
What is your name, please?
My name is Howell Forgy.
What is your name, please?
My name is Howell Forgy.
All right, panel, again, you'll find a copy of an affidavit in front of you. Will you follow along while I read you this one? I, Howell M. Forgy, am a Presbyterian minister. I am married and the father of 4 children. I've studied playwriting, and one of my plays once had a pre-Broadway tryout. In 1941, I was serving as Navy chaplain aboard the USS New Orleans at Pearl Harbor. On the morning of December 7th, we were attacked by the Japanese. It was during the ensuing battle that I said, "Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition." I swear that the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, Howell Forgy. With our game panel, these 3 gentlemen, as I told you, all claim to be Howell M. Forgy, the gentleman who said, praise the Lord, and pass the ammunition, a line which has certainly become part of American history. Remember, only the real Howell Forgy is required to answer your questions truthfully, and we will start this round with Jackie Cooper. Jackie?
On number 2, you say you served on the USS New Orleans. When was the New Orleans commission?
About 1932.
And what's the complement of the New Orleans?
About 800 or 900 men normally.
Number 3, what do I mean by 4-0? Number 3?
I don't know.
Number 1, what are the birth dates of your children?
Well, November 20, June 22. You mean you want them?
All 4 of them, yes.
All 4 of them. July 18 and September 20.
Uh-huh.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, what was the name of your play that tried out?
The sun never sets.
And number 2, what was the name of your play that tried out?
The sun looks down.
And number 3, what was the name of your play?
The sun is at rest.
Hey, you had a whole day, didn't you?
Number one, how did this phrase pass from your lips into the song of Frank Lesser?
How did the phrase pass from my lips? Well, actually, it had its inception at Pearl Harbor, of course,
Yes.
as you know. And our ship was in there for repairs at the time. And when the raid struck, why, we had no electric power to bring up the ammunition, you see. And so we carried it by hand and in the darkness. And that's how I happened to pass that remark at the time.
Hi, Gardner.
Number 3, on what day of the week in Pearl Harbor did December 7th occur?
Sunday.
Sunday. You created the inspirational expression, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, which Frankie Lesser wrote into a song. What service, if any, was Lesser in?
Frank Lesser was in the,
Number 1, would you know?
I know what he was in the non-combatant here in New York. I don't know what you call it.
Mary Healy.
Number one, I'll ask you, what service was he in?
He was in special services.
Uh-huh. Number one, you're a minister. What was the subject of your sermon last Sunday?
The truth shall set you free. Well, I knew I was going to be here, you see.
All right, that's it, panel. Once again, it's time to vote. Now, once more, may I warn you to not consult with each other. Please mark your ballots and select number 1,
Nobody asked
number
number
2, or number 3. Okay, panel, you all set? You're even eager, aren't you, Mary? Huh? For whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 1. For several reasons. First of all, he knew who Frank Lesser was and knew also what branch of the service he was in. My husband was in the Army with him, and so was I. And the other is, I liked the way he spoke about the sermon last Sunday. I thought that was pretty cute.
Jackie, you voted for?
I voted for number 2, and I never knew Mary Healy was in the Army. Because number 1 wasn't too sure of the birth dates of his children, and number 3 didn't know that the expression 4-0 in the Navy means 100% okay, and also because nobody asked number 2 any questions.
Kitty, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 2 because I didn't quite believe the other 2, and nobody'd asked number 2 anything.
Hi, Gardner, your vote?
I voted for number 3, particularly because number 3, in referring to Frankie Lesser, sort of said something about being a non-combatant and so forth, instead of saying special service. And I spent 3.5 years in special service, and I think he knows what, I think I know what he means.
All right. You are. If your minds are made up as well as ours are, and you have as good reasons, you're all right, believe me. Let's find out now. Which one of these gentlemen is the real Presbyterian minister who originated the phrase, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition? will the real Howell M. Forgy please stand up? Well, there you are. You just sat quiet and deceived everybody. Not everybody, because we had 2 votes for him. Number 1, sir, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
I'm Joe Glynn, foreign editor of the American Legion magazine.
And number 3, sir, what about you?
I am Cy Pitts, and I'm in the advertising business.
Well, in checking up as to how well you did tonight, you have exactly 2 incorrect votes there for a total of $250, each of $500 from Gerald Hall. Congratulations to you. Good night and the best of good luck, gentlemen. Now let's have our 3rd team of challengers, please.
What is your name, please?
My name is Janice Lee Romory.
What is your name, please?
My name is Janice Lee Romory.
What is your name, please?
My name is Janice Lee Romory.
And so we come to another affidavit. Panel, if you'll read along with me. I, Janice Lee Romory, devote a large part of my time to fencing. Although up to recently, I held a regular job as an escrow officer in a bank. I usually fence against women opponents, although one time I did have a match with Cornell Wilde. I had the honor of representing the United States in 3 Olympic Games. In 1948 in London, in 1952 in Helsinki, and last year in Melbourne. I am currently the women's national fencing champion. I swear that the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, Janice Lee Romory. Now, we'll start our cross-examination here. And remember, these 3 people all claim to be Janice Lee Romory, the national women's fencing champion. We'll start guessing this round with Mary Healy. Mary?
Me? I know very little about fencing. Number 1, would you demonstrate a parry?
Demonstrate?
Well, we haven't really
you can. All
time
right.
to demonstrate.
Well, tell me what a
Mary.
parry is.
A parry is to ward off an opponent's move.
And a thrust.
A thrust is to attack.
Number 3, in the vernacular of fencing, what would be the correct pronunciation of T-O-U-C-H-E?
Touché.
Very good, friend.
Jackie Cooper.
Number 2, what ship did you take to London in the 1948 Olympics?
The Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth. And also, what ship did you take to Helsinki for the 19...
we didn't take a ship. It's too far. We flew.
You flew. Very good. Number 1, who is the world's champion fencer?
Male or female?
A female.
Miss Sheen from London.
Uh-huh. Also, who was your opponent in the last of the finals, in the last Olympic Games?
I didn't get all the way to the very end, sir.
I beg your pardon?
I didn't get all the way to the very end.
She didn't get all the way to the end.
But I did win foot.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 2, do you always wear a mask?
Oh, you mean when you're fencing?
Yes.
Yes, always.
Always. And do you always wear padding?
You mean street clothes or fencing?
Huh? That's right, Mary. Touché.
We're a little late, folks, so good night.
Fencing.
Yes, you do.
What is the capital? What country is Helsinki the capital? Number 3.
Finland.
Hi, Gardner.
Number 1, when will the next Olympic Games be held?
Oh, this is 56 would be 60.
1960, yeah?
Yes.
Will the Winter and the Summer Games be held in 2 different countries?
Well, that depends. I know mostly about the fencing. That's always held in the summer, unless like in Australia when it's held in the fall, because their seasons are different. It just depends.
Number 2, could you answer that?
Would you please repeat the question again?
Will the games be held in 2 different countries? The summer games and the winter games?
I'm not sure. I know that the summer games will be in Rome, and usually it is. It was in 1956.
Uh-huh. Mary Healy.
When you worked in the bank, you did work in the bank, number 2.
Yes.
Would you explain to me what it means to have something in escrow?
It means that you are either selling or buying property, and you put it in escrow, so you have a third party, an impartial party, decide whether the money is good from the seller, and that as far as the buyer is concerned, that the buyer, the money is good, as far as the seller is concerned, that they really own the house.
Number 3, could you tell me the name of your last instructor before you became a professional?
Before I became a professional?
Yes.
Aldo Nadi. He instructed me then, and he still instructs me now.
That's it. Hope you've gleaned enough information, panel, because it's time to vote. So please mark your ballots without consultation for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Okay, panel, ballots all marked? Mary, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 3. Because she looks like she could beat Cornell Wilde any day.
Jackie Cooper, your vote this time?
I voted for number 1 because number 2 I don't think knew too much about that escrow at all. And number 3 said when she became a professional, it's my understanding she's still an amateur.
And Kitty Carlisle, your vote was for...
Number 2. Unlike Jackie, I thought number 2 had the bank rigmarole down cold.
Explain to me.
Hi, Gardner. What about your vote this
Well, I
time?
voted for number 1. I agree entirely with Jackie Cooper. The second girl, I was a little afraid was wrong. Rome is where the winter games will be held, not the summer games. The summer games will be held in California. That's why I went for 1.
All right, there we have our minds made up again, and we've given our reasons. Hope they're valid ones to you and that yours are to us if we knew what they were. Let's find out right now, and I hope you're ready for it. Which one of these women is the National Ladies Fencing Champion? Will the real Janice Lee Romory please stand up? Thank you very much. Anybody care to keep her in escrow?
You had the bank rigmarole down cold.
But it sounded like such a rigmarole.
But it always is with a bank.
All right, number 1, who are you really and what do you do?
My name is Ann Penn, and I'm a manager at Slenderella.
And number 3, what about you?
I'm Claire Carton, and I design children's snowsuits for Morton Carton.
And let's see how we made out, ladies. You had 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes at $250 each for another total of $750 from Geritol. Congratulations, good night, and the best of good luck to you. Incidentally, panel, I'd like to tell you and our audience, too, in view of the fact that Janice Lee Romory is an amateur, she is donating her share of the winnings to the International Fund of the Amateur Fencers League of America. Thanks very much to her, and good luck to her also. Incidentally, again, before we say goodnight, may I remind you all that this is National Mental Health Week. If you haven't sent your contribution in yet, do so tonight, the minute this show is over, because without your help financially, the great work cannot continue, and it must continue. Well, that's all we have time for tonight, I guess, so good night, panel.
Good night.
Now, remember what I told you about Geritol, a high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. Now, this is Bud Colley reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
Transportation for To Tell the Truth was arranged by American Airlines. Guests have flown to New York aboard American's famous luxury flight, the DC-7 Mercury. To Tell the Truth is the Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production in association with the CBS Television Network.